This video has been sponsored by Whatnot. More on them at the end of the video. What if you were a Pokemon gym leader? What if you worked at Game Freak and you got to design a Pokemon gym for yourself? You live in the Pokemon world and you've been noticed for your battling prowess. So you're allowed to choose the gym puzzle, what kind of gym trainers work at your gym, what your type specialty is, of course, what your badge is going to look like, what your team is going to be, and of course, what your terrestrial boss Pokemon is going to be. Hey Pokemon Masters, Keven Toby here, and it has been like 2 generations since I properly fully did this series. I started recently with my rock type gym, now we're on to normal, which was actually the first My Pokemon Gym video I ever did, and where the idea of Team Snooze came from. I won't be tackling Team Snooze today. Instead, I got an entirely new, fresh idea, because like I say, we're 2 generations on, there's a lot more Pokemon, and I like to really add a level of theming to my teams. As always, I want you to follow the format and get creative. Tell me about your normal type gym and where it fits into the Pokemon world in the comments down below. And let's look to the normal type gym leaders for inspiration. And boy oh boy, is there some inspiration. Normal gym leaders in the world of Pokemon are badasses. We got Whitney and her terrifying Miltank, Lenora and her Stoutland, Norman and his slacking, and Larry. Oh, there's Larry. A perfect normal type gym leader. He is so utterly normal, he is abnormal, he is exceptional. And I like this idea. I want to play on the idea of normal but abnormal, unusual. This will make more sense as time goes on. The fitting location for this is actually Hearthhome City in the Sinnoh region, where I have taken over Fantina's gym. It's no longer a ghost gym. She's gone off to become a head coordinator and travel the world and do so. But people have a reputation of this gym. It is a ghost type gym, and in Platinum version it's the 3rd gym. In other games it's the 4th gym. For my gym, for the gym levels roughly, well, I would have a team of any level for any trainer and traveler, of course. For my gym, I'm going to be focusing around that kind of 4th, 5th gym level, and that works really well for Sinnoh because Pastoria, Veilstone, and Hearthhome are all pretty much in a circle, and you can visit them in any order. Anyway, let's ground this story. So you're a Pokemon trainer traveling around the Sinnoh region. Maybe this is your first adventure, or maybe you're visiting over from another region, and you find yourself traveling through the base of Mount Cornet and coming out the side after feeling this mystical energy about the mountain. Of course, a legendary mountain where the mighty Arceus lives. You find your way to Hearthhome City, and maybe you even stop off in the church where you learn about the history of Sinnoh and a time before when it was known as Hisui. You learn about Arceus and how even the god of the Pokemon world is a normal type. And no, I'm not going to be using Arceus in my gym team. That would be a little bit OP. You know, maybe for like the 5th gym, not for the 4th. You learn from the people of Hearthhome City that it is a city of life and death. It is a place that dates back generations. It used to be the home of the ghost gym leader, and that worked very well for Mount Cornet, where a kind of ghastly energy is said to be about the place. But also there is a celebration of life here as well, and we see this in Pokemon contests and the people that come from all over. You find your way to the gym where I, Birdkeeper Toby, but in this version, normal Keeper Toby, just Keeper Toby, have clearly been renovating, because it's the same gym. It's the big dome hall, but when you walk in, it appears to be just a normal room of a normal house, as if you've walked into the wrong building. You look around and there is nothing to interact with. No plant pot, no secret passageway, no extra tunnel that leads into the rest of the gym. So you go, as always, to leave. And on your way out of the door, it's the only thing you can do is leave again, you are encountered by the first of the gym trainers. A Hex Maniac, or maybe even no, I prefer a Channeler from Generation 1, approaches you and comes in the door and says, hey, this place used to be a ghost-type gym, am I too late? No, hopefully there's still some training I can do here, and they battle you. And they send out Girafarig, a psychic normal-type Pokemon. Of course, it's not a ghost, they are a Hex Maniac, but I think Hex Maniacs are pretty, or Channelers are pretty associated with both ghost and psychic type. Unusual, and that's the theme of the gym, unusual. And so here comes Girafarig, a very unusual but yet normal Pokemon. Of course, it's just a Girafarig, but I hope it keeps you on your toes, because the only weakness to normal type Pokemon, the only Pokemon strong against them really, are fighting types, and Girafarig has Psychic to counter. But you're a talented trainer, and of course you defeat the Girafarig, and then the walls of the house that you were standing in fall away to reveal the rest of the gym inside. It was a trick room, just like the trick room from Generation 3, the Trick House. There you see lots of the old assets from Fantina's gym, including those dust skulls that appear in Pokemon Platinum version. There's elevators, there's a hall of strange mirrors, there's lots of illusions in the room. I like to think of it as like a carnival, like illusion house, or whatever they're called. Fake doorways that don't lead anywhere, oddly placed shadows that contain trainers within them, and all of the trainers are going to be psychics and hex maniacs and channelers, people who use very unusual normal type Pokemon. This is no normal type gym. You're going to be sneaking around this place and playing with shadow puzzles like it's a Resident Evil game. And these gym trainers, of course, are going to use all sorts of illusion-bringing normal type Pokemon. I'm talking about Stantler with its little eyes on its head that can create illusions, and Noctowl using its psychic powers, even though it's just normal flying type. And of course, Girafarig. Heck, there'll even be a trainer in there that has a Farigiraf from the Paldea region. Ditto will also very much appear. And the main goal of this gym and using Pokemon like Noctowl and like Farigiraf is to really wear down those fighting Pokemon that you might have brought to the table. This is the normal type gym, but there is nothing normal about it. It is going to wear you down, and it's going to really play with your mind and be tricky. But ultimately, you make your way into a room, which is a great hall of mirrors, with mirrors all around you. And as you look in them, you see yourself reflected. But in one of the mirrors, you don't see yourself. You see me, Gym Leader Toby. My voice echoes around the hall. Hello, trainer. Welcome, you have made it. Were you expecting Fantina, the Ghost Master? No, everything here is not as it seems. It is an illusion. Even the Sinnoh region is an illusion. It was previously known as the world of Hisui. We might think of Hothome City as a place where people and Pokemon get on, but no, in the days of Hisui, Pokemon were thought of as being savage. It is thought that even the god of the Pokemon world is a normal type. But there is nothing normal about Pokemon. And with that, an old Hisuian-style Pokeball smashes through the glass of the mirror, breaking it and granting someone 7 years bad luck. Hopefully not me, the gym trainer. And I guess I gotta get those replaced every time I battled someone new. But I burst out from this false mirror with my Pokeballs at the ready. This is going to be a 4-on-4 Pokemon battle. Gym Leader Toby looks you dead in the eye now and says, "Are you ready to battle?" It doesn't seem like it. You haven't hit the subscribe button yet. And then he bursts into battle, throwing out his first Hisuian Pokeball. Off I go. First up from my Pokeball comes Ursaring. I think at a later stage in the game, this would probably be an Ursaluna, but at 4th or 5th gym, it is an Ursaring. And it provides you, because if it was Ursaluna, it would be not weak to your fighting type with its ground type, or it would be strong against fighting. That's how the types work, right? I'm a gym leader and I don't know type matchups. How am I forgetting that after all these years? Right, Ursaring, a normal type Pokemon, is into battle. So you send out your fighting type Pokemon, of course. Maybe you've got a Machamp, or a Medicham, or a Hariyama. No matter the case, you're ready to take out my normal type Pokemon, and you hit me with a Karate Chop or Cross Chop, and it phases right through my Ursaring, completely unaffected. It's only after my Ursaring starts using its attacks you realize what's happening. Retaliating probably with a Psychic and destroying whatever fighting Pokemon you have, this Hisuian Zoroark breaks its illusion and starts attacking you with Shadow Sneak or Phantom Force, or of course U-turn to go back and continue to be tricky later on. In fact, I suspect it probably does U-turn and switches in for the actual Ursaring, who's going to be in battle with you now. This Ursaring knows Earthquake to help, again, further deal with those fighting-type Pokemon. It's also got Slash and Scary Face, and Payback as well. It's always up for some Payback. So already you can see this normal-type gym doesn't feel very normal. But you're a skilled and talented trainer, and there's no doubt in my mind that you defeat Ursaring, and then when I send Hisuian Zoroark back out, you defeat Hisuian Zoroark as well. Perhaps Hisuian Zoroark would have taken up the illusion of one of the other Pokemon on my team. Perhaps this next one, the normal Psychic type Weirdeer. What a weird normal Pokemon indeed. And of course, it has its signature move, the Psychic Psyshield Bash, Mega Horn, Confuse Ray, and Double Edge for that stab damage. I really think this is a very tricky combination of normal type Pokemon. I really think that if you came into this normal gym prepared to deal with normal Pokemon the normal way, you'd be getting really screwed right now. You're going to need to use other tactics. You're going to need to use status conditions. You're going to need to use Pokemon of other type to take advantages of the secondary type of these Pokemon. And again, yes, that Ursaring would definitely be an Ursaluna if we were maybe a little later on in the game. But you defeat my 3 first Pokemon. And so now we're on to my 4th Pokemon, my Terrestrial Pokemon. And here is where normal gets a whole new weird meaning. Because the strange, tricky normal type I'm going to be terrestrializing today is the usual bug ghost type, Shedinja. And I send it out in a Hisuian Pokeball because I think it would be really fun. There's a hole in the top of the Pokeball and a hole in the back of Shedinja. And here it is, ready to terrestrialize. As most of you know already, Shedinja is one of those Pokemon that has a very peculiar ability, Wonder Guard, which means it can only be hit by super effective moves. And in the case of this, terrestrializing into a normal Pokemon, it means the only moves that you can hit it with are fighting type. It's also going to be holding a Focus Sash to give it a second life. So you've got to hit it with 2 fighting type moves. And I strongly hope that at this point my team has worn down all of your fighting Pokemon. So you're really going to have to think outside the box here or come prepared for this kind of battle. In fact, I think it's quite a mean Terrestrial Pokemon to use. My Shedinja terrestrializes and becomes Terrestrial normal with that giant gem weighing on its head. I wonder how it stays afloat. Just to make the battle a little bit longer, it's going to have Protect, but it's also going to have Shadow Sneak and Phantom Force to deal that ghost type damage. It's not going to have a Bug Stab move though. Instead, it's going to have Terra Blast, just in case it's backed into the corner and needs to use that normal Terra Blast move. But you know the unknowable. You see through the illusions of this gym, and ultimately you defeat me, sending me to the ground. I have no choice but to give you the normal badge that isn't as normal as it first seems. I gotta say, I love the art of this badge. Phoebe, the last shaman, did a great job. It's that shape that, like, you just don't quite know where it begins or where it ends. It doesn't make sense for 3D space, and I think it captures the essence of this gym so well. I also give you the TM for Terra Blast because it is something that you're going to want to have against all of my other Terrestrial Pokemon for the future gyms that I do in this series. I love making this series, and Gym Leader Toby comes out and says, "Brilliant! I run a number of Pokemon gyms all over the Pokemon world. I hope you get the chance to visit them all, and I want to be creative with them, as creative as I possibly can. Doing the unusual thing, the unexpected, it really makes me happy. And of course, I'm able to run wonderful gyms like this thanks to today's sponsor, Whatnot." Whatnot, according to Pokemon Gym Leader Toby, is a live selling and buying platform for Pokemon cards. So maybe you've got a cool Hisuian Zoroark like I do, or a particularly nice Shedinja, but you know what? You'd much rather turn that into cash so that you can go ahead and buy other Pokemon cards, probably on Whatnot, where there's loads of great deals happening all the time. When you go to sell online, it's always so much effort to just like list it all and do the description and make sure, did I get it right? Is it mint, near mint? Is it played? I don't really know. And is the person I'm selling to, are they going to be happy? I don't even know the people I'm selling to. It's just a bunch of randos online. Not with Whatnot. With Whatnot, there's a whole invested community of buyers and sellers, and it's getting to know the people in the live stream and being able to show the card in real time without having to write out long, lengthy descriptions, just showing them this is the card you're bidding on. And so many people on the platform, including me, start all of their cards as low as £1, which means if no one else bids, you're picking it up for £1. There's no bid sniping as well, which I love about this platform. When it gets under 15 seconds, it gets under that 15-second mark. If someone bids, the timer goes back to 15 seconds, meaning what's paid for the card is what everyone is happy with. And if you don't want to place a bid for more than what is your budget for this particular card or collectible, and there's so much more on there than just Pokemon cards, then you don't have to. This means, of course, that no one needs to place a bid of more than they want to. There is no pressure involved in it at all. So what are you waiting for? Click that link at the top of the description, download the app, and favorite my next live stream over on my profile so you know when it's going to be happening, to join a community of amazing collectors today. And thank you so much to Whatnot for sponsoring this video, and of course, my normal type Pokemon gym. What would yours be like? Let me know in the comments down below. So hi, Pokemon Masters.
This is Ash Ketchum. You just watched a video by Birdkeeper Toby. That makes you a Pokemon Master.
Thank you so much to those of you supporting me on Patreon, allowing me to put out as many videos as I have lately, including the big patrons of this month, Anthony Lee, Elgator, Charmander Aznable, and Jedruben. Thank you.